Welcome back to another episode of Mud Brothers, presented by Hidden Sports Gems. Um, Episode 2, we're going into it. We got some big topics to talk about today. Let's start off with last week's big UFC card. It was supposed to be the greatest of all time. The final fight was snooze fest, but there was some controversy. And DC and Joe Rogan were just so bad last week.
Yeah, so great UFC card, 3 championship fights. Obviously, some crazy shit went down in the Peter Yan fight. But the highlight of the night, I think, was when Izzy and fucking Yan were fighting. Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier got it so wrong, bro. They were so far off. They were talking about, like, basically saying Yan was losing the entire fight. And then come to the scorecards, and he wins 4 out of 5 of the rounds. And they talked about him like he lost almost every single round besides the last 2. They were shitting on him for not taking down Izzy and, like, not doing all this stuff. Like, they were, like, basically just critiquing the shit out of him. And he won by a landslide.
It was a boring fight, but, like, 'cause I remember watching it. It's just, it was boring, but yeah, Yan, like, the final 3 rounds, you could tell Yan had, like, the severe advantage, like, over him. Like, Adesanya was, like, I feel like he thought he won the first 2 rounds, so now he's just got to, like, not win the next 3, but just not lose.
Something like that, but I mean.
And DC and Rogan were not doing anything.
They were way off.
Fight.
They said
they were just.
They were
slip
like.
Up.
They were like, why is Yan biting on every fake Adesanya throws? And I was like, well, what do you want him to do? Like, it's a fake. Like, he's fake throwing a punch. Like, yeah, he's going to react to him.
Yeah, because the one time you don't react, it's an actual punch.
Yeah, and you get nailed in the face. So I don't really understand what they were saying. And, like, just usually they're so good. Do you
think they could have been phased by the Sterling fight? Like, maybe, you think they that might have phased them a little bit? Like, they were still kind of, like, in shock because watching that, they were just like, it was like, they were just like, wow. Like, they couldn't believe that had, like, what happened.
Maybe. I mean, that would be the only thing that makes sense. Like, they were way off. And they're usually so good. Don't get me wrong. I love Joe Rogan. And I love them commentating. I think they do a great job. But just this time, they were, like, sucking Adesanya's dick the entire fight.
Do you think Dana
could have sucking him off?
You think Dana was like, hey, kind of, help Adesanya out a little bit, build him up through commentating? Like, he's more marketable than Yan is by far. If we make him look good, he can sell more fights in the future. And I think everybody inside the UFC thought Adesanya was going to win. What was he, like a minus 260, 250 favorite? Everybody was thinking he was going to win. So there's a lot of different factors. I think the whole Sterling fight, that definitely might have, I think, had one. Like, they're like, I can't believe that just happened. But I don't know. Just got to be better. Slip up, but I'm sure.
I'm sure they'll be better again. Yeah. It was just, like, so weird. And it was, like, noticeably bad. I don't know if everyone else was thinking the same thing. I feel like probably because, like, it was bad. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about right now? It was really weird, but I don't know. I guess that happens from now and then. Like, you commentate, like, fucking an entire huge fight card like that, you run out of things to say or something.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody can be perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, but it really pissed me off. Like, Daniel Cormier, like, he really started going in on Yan. He was like, What are you doing? What are you doing? You have to do this. You have to do that. Like, shut up, John Jones' little bitch boy. Like, that's it. You're John Jones' son. Like, you can critique everyone so well. Like, why couldn't you put that shit in place? Like,
yeah, why couldn't you do it against Stipe?
Shit. Like, he was, like, literally shitting on Yan for fighting a guy that has a very similar build to John Jones, and he actually won the fight. And the guy, Izzy said he still wants to fight John Jones. So, I mean, we'll see how that happens. Imagine Izzy beats him, and then Daniel Cormier looks like an even bigger bitch.
I saw John Jones tweeted out, I was like, don't ever come at me talking about this Adesanya bum can beat me. I think John Jones would win that fight, but, I mean, it's still something I would like to see.
I think it would be really good, but John Jones is.
It was a boring fight.
Next
I'm a
level
casual UFC fan. Like I'll watch a big card. It was a boring fight, but like if you're a hardcore UFC guy, I'm sure it's still like an interesting fight to say the least. But I don't know. I wanted to see haymakers. I wanted to see blood everywhere. I wanted to see these guys just beat the living hell out of each other. But it didn't happen. But that's what you sign up with these kind of sports. Not everything is going to turn out the way you want it to.
Yeah. Guess not. It happened.
Next, so there's a fake report by John Clayton, who used to work for ESPN. He had that commercial. You remember, like, he had the green screen behind him, and then when his thing was done, he, like, ripped off, like, a fake suit and, like, let his hair down. He had, like, a ponytail. And he's like, Mom, my segment's done. Like, I want my – I don't remember what else he said, but he's just, like, a weird-looking dude.
Who?
John Clayton, like, he's a weird-looking dude. Like, look up a picture of him right now. But he came out with a take how Ryan Fitzpatrick was retiring. Turns out it was fake. I don't know if Fitzpatrick is going to go back to the Dolphins. I'd assume probably
we don't know.
not.
We don't. Oh, that's John Clayton. I don't
Yeah.
know. He looks like a guy with a face you could trust. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's just. I don't know. He's kind of. He's just a little like. It
But
just
he didn't
looks
say
weird.
he was retired. Yeah, he looks like a little alien boy, like Benjamin Bunn's disease.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't say he was retiring. He said I forgot what team they said was considering signing him.
Arizona.
No,
I think I saw Arizona this week.
It was like somebody was going to try and give him a starting job. It was like a
Houston
shitty team though. I don't
Houston?
remember what it might have been like.
I'm gonna look up the tweet right now. I mean, I think Fitzpatrick can be a starter. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl or
But
make
it
you
was
to the playoffs.
some bad. It was a really bad. It was a bad team that was looking for like a replacement quarterback, and I remember Fitzpatrick saying, "Oh yeah, I want to keep playing," and then I saw this team was. The report was like, "Yeah, this team is thinking about signing Fitzpatrick," and then Fitzpatrick said, "I'm thinking about retiring."
He mentioned the Broncos. The Broncos have had contact with Fitzpatrick,
and he was like, "Fuck that shit." Imagine that was. We technically don't know how real it is, I guess, but could you imagine Broncos? They're like, "Hey, Ryan, we're really considering you being our guy.
We just need you to be better than Drew Lock was, because Drew Lock is horrible."
And he's like, "I think I'm good. I don't."
Yeah, he's like,
I think I'm actually gonna retire after saying he still wants to play. Like that would be so funny. Like what a shit. I mean, he would just be shitting on the goddamn.
I mean, like I wouldn't want to go from living in Miami weather in Florida, no state income tax, to going to Denver, an organization where it's just average now. Like I wouldn't want to do that, especially it's only going to be a 1-year deal. Like Fitzpatrick has made a lot of money throughout his career. Like what else does he need to prove really? Like he's never going to be taken as a serious quarterback. Like if I was him, I would just hang up the cleats, get into broadcasting. I feel like he'd be a great broadcaster.
I think he would be a good broadcaster too.
Get him in the booth or something because I mean he knows the game very well. I mean you don't have. I think he's played for like 12 teams or 9 teams. I don't know. But like you're not a bad quarterback if that's how many teams you play for. You're obviously decent. So
he's pretty well educated.
Yeah, Harvard boy.
Went to Harvard. So
next, let's talk about the college basketball. So all these teams are getting COVID right when it's the last time you want to be getting COVID. Duke, UVA, and Kansas have all had to pull out of their tournaments. Well, Duke lost, but then they tested positive. So that kind of rules out any chance they had of making the tournament. UVA beat my Syracuse Orange on a buzzer beater, which sucks. And then the very next day they test positive for COVID. So they are out of the ACC tournament. I saw something like they have to like 5 p.m. Sunday to tell the NCAA if they're going to be able to play in the tournament or not. So that decision is still coming. And then Kansas, who had no COVID scare the entire year, not one, gets one today. Not today, yesterday. Their first one. They have to withdraw from the Big 12 tournament, giving who won that game? Who were they supposed to play? Texas?
Who?
Kansas. They were supposed to play somebody, but
Yeah.
they had I think it was Texas, yeah. And so they might. I mean, they're probably gonna make the tournament. So they probably. It depends. Like you're supposed to quarantine for 10 days. Tournament starts on Thursday, so it opens up the bubble for a lot of like teams on the bubble to get in, like Syracuse, some other small teams. I don't know.
Well, it's really just weird for like NCAA. Like, how are they gonna do this? Because
And
like
those teams were all bringing in money.
these conference tournaments are getting shut. Like teams are getting kicked out of the conference tournaments because of COVID. So like,
How is
how
it
are
going to
you gonna
work
run
with
a
the tournament?
team with a
Yeah,
ton more teams? Like a lot
yeah,
more teams.
64.
Like you have to make a little bubble for them, and that's a ton of fucking
They're
things you
doing
got to
that in
set up.
Indiana, but like they're all across the state of Indiana. I mean, somehow, some way, there's going to be that idiot player that sneaks a girl in or goes out and gets it and screws the team over. And what happens in that situation when the team makes it to the second weekend, Sweet 16, they have a COVID positive test? Like, who does that team in the Sweet 16 that they're supposed to play just advance? Or do you get the team that they beat, be like, hey, boom, that's you
Right?
guys
Like
now?
it's a free win, but then like you can't have teams like sitting around waiting for
Exactly.
got for like, oh, maybe that team will get COVID and we'll move on. Like that's
Yeah,
just so
you can't
weird.
have that. Cannot. I mean, it's gonna be. It's so like for Duke it was a walk on, so that's just so funny that a walk on kind of cost your season. I don't know who got it for UVA or Kansas, but you would think that the coaches would just like tell everybody like you cannot be fucking going out screwing around and risking our season, especially a walk on. Like that dude doesn't even play. He doesn't get out of the sweats. Like if I was a guy who this was like we because Duke, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna make the tournament, but maybe if they made a far run into the NCAA ACC tournament, they would have had a chance. But that's got to be killer. That's just not fair.
No,
And the thing
it's
is, like, the kid's gonna be fine in a couple of days. Like, he's gonna be perfectly back to normal.
yeah, probably. But I mean, Brett, trust me when I say no athletes follow those policies whatsoever. I
No,
see
none
them out and
whatsoever.
around all the time. Trust me, like
Just
at
an
least in
inside
the
scoop from
fall.
Morgantown. Are we
This is
telling the
this
NCAA start testing West Virginia special? A
no
little
no no
extra.
no no. This is just this is what I'm hearing. That's just what
Okay.
we're gonna say. What I'm hearing. Okay. Um, these athletes don't follow these policies, bro. They're gonna do whatever they want. They're not in college to do school. They're in
Yeah,
college to play ball and
get chicks.
like fuck around, like have a
They're
good time
18 to
with their
22-year-old
friends.
kids.
So
You cannot expect them to always make the correct adult decision.
exactly. So they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, and they're gonna have fun. So yeah, they do not follow the policies. They go out and they have a great time. You know what? Sorry, NCAA. Like you can't control kids' lives.
I think I mean, it's just if a team slips up in the bubble for the tournament, like how is that gonna like? I just can't believe that it's all like unraveling now.
I
Like
know
this
it's
is
gonna
like
be
the
so
worst time
weird.
you could get it right now, especially if you're just a student athlete, a coach, or anything. Because it can also happen to an assistant coach or a team manager, and they screw everybody else over. Or
It's
maybe the coach is, maybe like, hey, come on now, let's hide it. Everybody else tested negative. It was
yeah,
just this guy. It was the student manager. Like, come on now. Do you really want to lose out on your money?
because we really don't know if like say what if a team got it and then they played another team and then that team, oh, they got it, oh no, how did that happen? Like it could have came from the team they just played, but you never know what gets swept underneath.
It's
And I'm sure that's going to
just
happen during the NCAA tournament. I'm sure we
for
will not
sure.
hear about COVID outbreaks in
The
teams that
over under is going to be 1.5 for COVID outbreaks throughout the March Madness. I guarantee it.
they're not gonna like stop. The NCAA will not just be like, okay, we need to put our
Nah, they've
student
lost way
athletes'
too much
safety
money.
first. No way.
They have lost way too much money. They need to make money, And I mean, you're going to start seeing those commercials now in the next coming week, next 3-4 weeks. You're going to see those commercials where they just repeat, 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 repeat. Like in a week or two, We'll do a list of most annoying commercials from the March Madness.
All right. So what's good with selection day? When is that?
tomorrow. Selection Sunday's tomorrow.
All
We'll-
right. So
we'll
then
do,
we'll do another. We'll do another little podcast.
A
Probably
prediction.
Wednesday. But
Mhm.
who is gonna win it? Like if you had,
Gonzaga. Right now,
that's
Gonzaga.
what I'm thinking too, bro. I'm all
I'm-
over Gonzaga.
I'll take out a future on Gonzaga.
If I had to take anybody, it would be Gonzaga or it would be Iowa. Because didn't UNC win the title that 1 year with Tyler Hansbrough?
I think he did win a national championship, and
That's Luke Garza to the
but-
T. Tyler
yeah, but
Hansbrough and Luke
to
Garza are the
win-
same fucking guy.
to win in the tournament, you have to have good guard play.
Iowa's guards aren't that bad.
Yeah, but there are better guards.
Yeah, but
And
they had a kid that hadn't
No
missed a
doubt
free
Luke Garza
throw.
can turn
hadn't
around the
missed a
field.
free throw though, and
Yeah,
100
Luke Garza
tries,
can
they hit their
definitely
free
win
throws.
them a game, but I don't know.
it is good guard play. And
I mean,
see.
Michigan. We'll go more into it on the next episode. So
I think Iowa will take it pretty
Make a
far.
run.
I think they're
they're
guard.
second weekend team at least. Like they'll make a Sweet 16.
But yeah, I'm on Gonzaga too. But everybody keeps saying, I wrote a blog about it. Oh, Gonzaga hasn't played any good teams yet. Like, come on now. Like, they beat every team by 15 that they play, and Gonzaga as a program has done this for like 19 years straight. It does not matter if they played in the Sun Belt, if they just beat everybody by 15.
Yeah, they're still a really
every
good
single
team.
year make it to the they're the last 19 years. I saw something. I put it in the blog. It was like they've made it to the Sweet 16 or better in 9 of those 18 or 16 years. That's pretty fucking impressive for a program in general. I don't know what other program is doing that, but Gonzaga is they're built this year more than ever for a fucking title run. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time they won it was, if ever.
I don't think they've ever won one. They've made a national championship. They've made the Final Four, but they just can't get over the hump.
And now they have a top 5 player to do it.
I think my dream matchup is in the tournament is Oklahoma State, Gonzaga, and just let Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham see who's the better of the two. That would be awesome because they're both like pretty big guards. They handle the ball. They can score. They can do a lot of things. That's my dream matchup right now. I would love to see that for a Sweet 16 matchup. All right,
That would be dope. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do the down bad meal segment. So, give a situation right now. So basically, I'll go more in depth. So when you're just feeling bad or you're down bad gambling,
No.
with a girl.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'd say it's one is obviously you're down bad gambling.
Yeah.
You've lost a ton of money, and you just need something. You need some type of food to either pick you up, get the vibes going straight, or you just don't have enough money to get anything that great. So
I'll go first. McDonald's dollar menu.
really, just classic.
That's classic.
What if you
Just
have to
go
make
McDonald's.
something? Let's go with you got to
All
make
right,
something. Because
so to make
obviously
something,
you go to McDonald's, or
chips and dip.
obviously that's it.
Chips and dip. You get a nice queso, nice tortilla chip. That can bring up the mood. You get guac, just chips and dip. I think that's just the number one. You're sitting there on the couch. You're on like a 4 straight losing streak, and you just see chips and dip. Like, oh. Then 5 minutes later, you finished half the bowl, and you're just like, well, I might as well just order some Mexican food. So yeah, chips and dip is number one for me.
Chips and dip. I guess that's all right. I mean, yeah, it's obvious. I hit the Wendy's 4 for $4. Get my $4. Get my $4 meal.
Well, you got to make
That's more
something.
Exactly, because that puts a little spin on it. And I'm thinking I'm going buying a loaf of bread, pretty cheap, and then I'm buying the hot dogs. I'm going dogs, no bun.
So you're making
and bread.
hot dog sandwiches? Oh.
Yep. Dogs and bread. I mean,
Oh my God.
it'll get the job done. It'll probably cost you less than maybe $2. So
Chips and a hot dog on bread? Ugh. That is a down bad meal.
exactly, that's something you just gotta do.
Mac and cheese for sure. The one where you put water in it
Kraft.
and you just put the powder. Yeah, Kraft mac and cheese. I mean, that's like for a 6-pack, it's like $4. It takes 2 minutes to make, and then boom. I mean, nobody hates mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is like in the aisle of pizza, where it's like you can't make a bad mac. You can make a good mac and cheese, but you can't make a bad one. Mac and
Yeah.
cheese is up there. There's been some bad nights where all I've had is mac and cheese left to eat, and I'm just like, well, I guess this is what I got. I'm just gonna roll with it.
I mean, then you also got canned beans.
Ugh.
Hey,
No.
all right, I hate beans, but like,
Beans are the nasty. I'll take beans on a burrito, but I won't just eat beans straight.
dude, if you're down that bad, canned beans, good protein, like, and yeah, it's got good
Build your
protein in it.
brain.
It's probably pretty cheap, too.
What's another? I mean, a grilled cheese. That's kind of like a rainy day down bad.
Yeah,
Like
that's
grilled cheese and soup. It's like, it's raining outside. I don't want to leave. Let me just make some grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's just like a depressing ass meal. It's good. It's really good, but it's a depressing ass meal. It is not something that you make for a date, unless like you're broke. But yeah, grilled cheese and soup. Yeah, that's a depressing. I'm down bad meal.
what
What's
else we
another
got.
one? Cereal, just straight cereal. Like if you're eating
Cereal,
cereal
yeah,
at like
that's a
7 o'clock,
fucking
yeah,
cereal
it's just
for
like
dinner.
you're just having a bad like. There's breakfast for dinner, like that's awesome. Like you can do that like once a month. Like yeah, pancakes, waffles, but cereal for dinner does not fall under the category of breakfast for dinner. That is like you're just eating soup. Then you're eating sugar soup. Like that is just something like oh god.
Yeah, that's
Like you
not a
don't
good.
want to
That's
make
not a good place
anything.
mentally. I feel like if you're
Yeah,
eating cereal for dinner, I mean, you're a little bit fucked. You're a
yeah,
little bit fucked.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
you need to go back, rethink some of your life choices, and figure out what you're doing wrong. Because you're not okay. You're not okay if you're at that point right now. But if you are at that point right now, it's okay. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Like just in case
Things will only get
anybody.
better. Things can't get worse. They can
Yeah.
only get better.
Yeah. It can't get any worse than where you're at, so you'll be all right. I
Damn.
think that's probably.
I feel like there's one more. Anything from a crock pot.
Come on, what?
Crock pots are just
Crock pot
ugh.
cannot be a down bad meal.
Yeah, it is.
That shit is good. You get some good
yeah,
stuff
it's
from
good,
crock
but
pot.
it's a crock pot meal, dog. It's no. I'm not a fan of crock pot meals.
What do you mean? You get like
Nope.
good pulled pork out of that.
Yeah, pulled pork. Yeah, but what else do you know that's a good crock pot meal?
I don't know. I don't cook.
Exactly, like beef stew or something is made out of a crock pot. Nobody's like, yeah, I'm gonna have some beef stew. Like, fuck, I guess I gotta make. Just like the last thing in your cupboard is like your pantry, your fridge is like, oh, beef stew. Bring out the crock pot. Damn it. Like, nah, crock pot meals. That's a down bad. That's a down bad meal.
Also, I feel like eggs at night, just like
Whoa,
fried eggs.
no, that falls under.
What? You
that's
only
a good
have eggs,
meal.
You only have eggs in the
but that
fridge,
can fall under the breakfast. That's like the fun breakfast for dinner. I feel
no,
like.
it's not. It's just an egg for dinner, like
Dude,
because you got eggs in the fridge. So you know what? Oh, you're fucking down bad right now. Can't get anything else. So you cook an egg.
I
just
like
cook
eggs.
an egg up. I like eggs too, but I'm just saying I would never throw one on the stove for dinner unless I was down pretty bad.
All right. So we'll rank them. We'll put them in a rank. I think cereal takes the cake, though. Fucking cereal for dinner.
I take cereal and then beans. Probably gotta be.
If you eat just canned beans, reevaluate your life right now. Like, I'm serious. Reevaluate that shit right fucking now. Because if I ever see a man eating, it's like I see a homeless man. He's got a can of beans. I will take him to go to McDonald's or something like. You are down bad, man. All right.
That's the kicker. That's the kicker for you.
If you find yourself if you find yourself losing so much gambling that you have to resort to eating canned beans, stop gambling for a little while. Okay. Just take a break.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, you got any sports conspiracies to wrap it up? Anything we can blow out of proportion?
No, I feel like it's not very, very big news week.
Yeah,
Other
it's been
than
kind of quiet in the sports world, I feel like.
one thing I was thinking is I think the Chiefs regret giving Patrick. Well, I don't think they regret, but giving Patrick Mahomes that big deal because they just had to restructure it. They're kind of like realizing like the negatives of paying that much money. He's a great quarterback. He's
So much
generational,
money.
but
They give him a
they are
10-year
screwed.
contract. He will never, ever go anywhere. He's on 10 years.
No, and like they'll always be competitive with him, but like they had to cut both their tackles, and we saw in the Super Bowl without Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher, they were very bad. And Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce aren't getting any younger. They're gonna run out of gas here sooner than later, so they're gonna be banking on a lot of rookies. But yeah, I think that the Chiefs are really starting to see the consequences, and it's only after 1 year of giving that dude that much money.
Why do you keep moving around your computer so much?
Because I'm set. I don't have my desk.
All right. Yeah, I
They're
feel
gonna
like
regret
maybe
that
that's the
deal.
conspiracy. Like Chiefs are a little bit regretting, because like small market team, man.
It's like
Kansas City. They fucking throw 10 years around. Like
$500
what the
million.
fuck? God.
They'll be
Jeez,
competitive
man.
every year,
Jeez.
but I don't know if they're gonna be they can't expect to be going to the Super Bowl every year because they're gonna
Yeah.
they're not gonna be able to pay some dudes that they need.
What if fucking Patty like hope this never happens and gets really hurt?
What if he requests a trade like 2-3 years from now? He's like, damn, they can't build around me because I screwed them over with this much money. Let me just go to a team that will take me for that. What if he just bounces around from team to team each year? Like, you got to trade me, so I go to a new team that can
He's a
afford to
lone
pay
guy.
me. And, yeah, he's basically a lone guy. It could happen.
That would be nuts, honestly. You never know.
But, yeah, Kansas City's going to regret that deal. But Patrick Mahomes is generational. You do pay him, but you do not pay him that much for that long.
Kansas City will never, ever see a quarterback like that in their franchise.
No, never again.
I mean,
nobody ever will.
And let's be real, 10 years, 500 mil, they're going to make probably like maybe $1 billion off that kid. Like,
just off like jersey sales and merchandise alone.
Off jersey sales, off ticket sales.
And he's going to be he blows up with endorsement money too.
Yeah. He's making a ton of money, and they're going to make a ton of money off them. So, no big deal. One last thing. Have you seen – I don't know what happened, but twice yesterday, 2 basketball players absolutely threw haymaker elbows. And
I love it.
Clobbered kids. They both got ejected, I'm pretty sure.
That's what needs to be done. It's do or die time. It's the hungry dog runs faster. Who's going to be the bigger dog? Elbows getting swung lets you know it's March Madness. Like, I like seeing that shit out of kids.
It does. I mean, it's hard, right? It's hard.
It's great. It's hard. It just shows me that you care for the game.
That you would knock another kid out on the floor just for the game. It reminds me of that one time when that kid shot the 3 and then the viral video, and then the other kid comes up and just drops him, full on punches him.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't even show remorse, just bam, running in, just knocks him out after he shoots a 3.
And
it gives me those kind of vibes.
You give a kid a bloody nose, he comes back in the game. You give a kid a bloody nose, he comes back in the game. That's a storyline. Boom, that kid's just looking for grit. I just love the physicality. I think that, I don't really see Luke Garza getting, I know he's physical, but I don't see him throwing an elbow. But yeah, you have those 1 or 2 dudes on your team that you can afford. If they got ejected, it sucks, but we can move on past it. I like the elbows though. Keep them coming, boys. Keep them swinging. Let's get physical.
Keep them hungry.
Yeah,
make sure they eat. Make sure those elbows eat.
Hungry dogs
the
run
one
faster.
Really reminded me of what you used to do, and when we would just play basketball. You get the ball, clear the way type of thing.
You got to clear space around, man.
And you get the elbows up.
That's your rebound. You got to let everybody know. You can't just let people we can just steal it from him. Nah,
and then
you got to let
what?
people know.
The kid's head back here, and he just gets fucking caught in the space clearing. Because one thing I really like that the kid did, throws elbow, drops him cold, and I know he felt that, and then goes back up with the shot. He finishes
Mhm.
the play. I fucking admire that. I mean,
I
that's
think
just pure heart.
yeah, just keep the elbows coming, guys. Get physical. I love, especially when it's a guard too. Like when it's a guard pestering you, knock their little ass over.
That's what I'm. There's too many guards going.
And
in
then
the
guards
paint
do
right
it the
now.
same, and then
Right?
vice versa. Let the guards do it to the big man.
Yeah,
Like you got to
catch your
own it.
elbow in the chest or the gut, whatever. But like, I'm tired of seeing little guards go into the paint because that shit was
Would not
not
fly on my
allowed.
team.
It
It
was
would
not
not fly
allowed.
on my team.
No,
No
you
layup
gotta
rule.
protect the paint, and you got little guys getting rebounds like that are like 7 inches shorter than you, and then you got like them trying to body you up in the paint. Hell no, you should be that's what you should be putting that elbow on them, and then you should be going up getting that
Let
basket.
him know from the jump. Like this is not, you're not getting this today, buddy.
It's gonna get physical down there. It has to. You need
You
to
can use it
let
to your
them know. Set
advantage.
the tone. You have to set the tone.
Get in their
early.
psyche. Let them know. Yeah, you're not coming down here. Try something else. They get all flustered and all that. Offensive foul in a late game critical situation. Boom. I love it. Keep the elbows coming.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up. And,
Yeah, we'll come out on Wednesday with a new episode for a March Madness preview, exclusively March Madness, and then we'll do an all-time.
we'll add some other stuff.
We'll do an all-time your favorite team to watch during all the March Madnesses you can remember.
Yeah, we'll do some March Madness action. We'll throw in a jersey draft. We'll throw in a college basketball jersey draft. See like what we're feeling, what kind of setting is going on. And then we got a bunch of videos, I guess, coming out, and boom, got the content rolling. We need to get back on top of it. So,
all right, guys, we appreciate you joining us today. Have a good weekend. Bet responsibly and make some money. Remember, scared money don't make money, baby.
Yeah, I totally forgot. We found that new system.
We'll let our fans know. Let our fans know.
We'll be sure if you're watching this. Shoot a DM. Like we found this system from this guy on Reddit, and it's been not bad at all. Actually, it's been fairly decent.
Yeah.
So
keep it. We'll keep everybody updated. Check out on our Twitter at Hidden Sports Gems. You know, we'll keep everybody in the loop. So we appreciate it. Remember, scare money don't make money. See you guys.